Rivian is upgrading some of their version 1 sites with the new version 1.5 dispenser, which means non-Rivian EVs can start charging at more Rivian Adventure Network sites. Let's talk all about it. Now, we know Rivian has their own private network, the Rivian Adventure Network, also known as RAN. Now, Rivian has slowly started introducing their version 1.5 dispensers at their Rivian Adventure Network sites, first installing them at new sites. Now we're seeing them retrofitted at pre-existing sites. Now, the version 1.5 dispenser is really no different than the version 1 dispenser in terms of hardware and charging performance. Really, the big difference is how it looks, the length of the cables, the fact that it has a payment screen, and yeah, that's really it. But it allows Rivian to charge non-Rivian EVs with their network. The big issue with the version 1 dispensers is that they have shorter cables. They're configured in a way that really only work for Rivian vehicles. And I think that was just a poor choice from Rivian from the beginning. And this is where that version 1.5 stall comes in place. Again, it's longer, it's centrally placed so more EVs can use it. It also has a longer cable. So again, this will help reach more EVs charge ports. It's just an overall better dispenser. And as I've mentioned, right, we saw these at new Rivian Adventure Network sites from all over the country. Chipley, Florida, just near me. I visited that station. Springfield, Illinois, Columbus, Texas, Astoria, Oregon, Flagler, Colorado, Cisco, Texas. The list goes on and on. About 20% of Rivian's Adventure Network station, or 22 stations, will allow non-Rivian vehicles to charge at Rivian Adventure Network stations. And that's going to grow more and more as the weeks go by. We are seeing Rivian install the new version 1.5 dispensers at pre-existing Rivian Adventure Network stations with the version 1 dispensers. So far, Henderson, North Carolina, Charlotte, North Carolina, shout out to Walter who sent this videos here so we can see what that looks like. Charlotte, North Carolina, I believe was the first Rivian Adventure Network on the East Coast, or one of the first. And so this is a popular station. It is now getting the version 1.5 installs. Pooler, Georgia, Augusta, Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia, Macon, Georgia, Greenville, South Carolina, Whittier, North Carolina. Pretty much the Georgias and Carolinas are getting their Rivian Adventure Network stations upgraded to version 1.5. So if you were in that area, I am in Tallahassee, Florida. So Georgia, right above me. When I drive up to Atlanta, typically I'm stopping at that Macon charger. If you are like me, you're going to be able to now use these Rivian Adventure Network stations because they have the new version 1.5 chargers, which make it more accessible for all EVs. The only downside to the Rivian Adventure Network is the price. And you can watch our video here all about that. But the Rivian Adventure Network recently, within the past month, had a huge price increase. I'm talking about as high as 29 cents per kilowatt hour increases. Absurd. And so it makes it harder and harder to be like, okay, the Rivian Adventure Network is where you want to go. Now, the Rivian Adventure Network is second to Tesla in terms of reliability. Currently, Rivian has the most reliable CCS1 network. That is because they only have 110 stations at this point, and they're continuing to grow, but they have shown that reliability is a big part of this network, that they want to show that Rivian's Adventure Network can be as reliable as Tesla's supercharger network with J3400. And we're going to talk about that in just a second, but it makes it more difficult to recommend the Rivian Adventure Network if you don't have free Rivian charging. For most Rivian owners back in 2021, 2022, Rivian owners got a full year of free Rivian Adventure Network charging. I believe that ended in like April of 2023. So after that, Rivian started charging for their charging. But then if you are a Rivian owner who refers someone, you get 6 free months of Rivian Adventure Network charging. So if you're a Rivian owner like me who has been blessed with someone using their referral code, I can just go to a Rivian Adventure Network station and get free charging. It's awesome. Free charging. If you don't get free charging, that means you're a Rivian that doesn't have referral points, or you are a non-Rivian vehicle, you could be paying upwards of like 65 cents a kilowatt hour at Rivian Adventure Network stations, while Electrify America's just around the corner could be as low as 45 to 52 cents. In Joshua Tree, California, charging your non-Rivian EV is 74 cents a kilowatt hour. 74 cents a kilowatt hour. I don't think another public DC fast charging network is that expensive. Now, of course, it varies by region, so not everywhere is 74 cents a kilowatt hour, just Joshua Tree. But for instance, Bozeman, Montana, for non-Rivian EVs, it's 61 cents. For Gardner, Montana, 61 cents. Erie, Pennsylvania, 65 cents. Chipley, Florida, right near me, 59 cents. It's just more expensive for non-Rivian EVs. And then even if you are a Rivian EV, right, you're still paying upwards of 50 to 60 cents per kilowatt hour even. Now, moving on, when we talk about Rivian's network, Rivian is likely going to be upgrading their version 1.5 sites to version 2 very soon. Now, it was initially expected, and I believe said that later this year, end of 2025, we will see Rivian start to install their version 2 dispenser, which will have native NACs. We know that the Rivian R2 is expected to have native NACs and native J3400. And so it's expected that Rivian would add J3400 plugs at the Rivian Adventure Network sites. But if they're installing the version 1.5s now, it makes me less likely to believe that Rivian is going to be installing the version 2 sites later this year, if they're already installing the version 1.5s. Or maybe R2 won't have native J3400. We will see. But the version 2 site is expected to look just like the version 1.5, again, with native NACs. It's expected that it would have kind of the same situation at Tesla chargers where you tap a button and then you get, the J3400, and then you could tap another and then you would just get the full CCS one, and it would be like an extension on top of it, kind of an adapter that's stuck to the charger. But so much is happening in the space, and by the end of this year, we could be seeing a ton of chargers out there from the likes of Alpitronic and Tesla that would be providing upwards of 400 kilowatts. So would 300 kilowatts meet that demand? Maybe for now, but I do expect that Rivian will be introducing some sort of upgraded charger with faster charging in the future, something to future-proof their charging network. But yeah, I wanted to share this with you guys. It is exciting. More version 1.5 sites are being put online, which means more non-Rivian EVs can charge at Rivian Adventure Network stations, especially down here in the South. Georgia and the Carolinas are pretty much all having their sites upgraded to the version 1.5. If you're in that area, lucky for you. We will see what region is next. I imagine Rivian will follow with the rest of the East Coast, and then we will see the West Coast shortly after. Furthermore, what do you think of Rivian's Adventure Network price increases? Tesla chargers in the same regions are sometimes half that of Rivian, and we're more than a month after Rivian introduced these price increases. So it's not like this is, you're seeing the price of electricity rise. So, Rivian chose to rise, and now we're seeing Tesla, Electrify America, and other companies rise. It just seems that Rivian has put a premium on their charging. Now, for those of you who have taken notice, I'm sorry, I'm wearing a Chevrolet Performance hat and a BMW Motorsports, sitting in a room full of Rivian stuff. Yeah, this is a pretty bad look. But look, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Isaiah. This is the Out of Spec Bits channel, and I will see you guys in the next one.